Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of the Open Hearth community, this particular game, and this series, which is called Star Wars Saturdays. Whereupon, for the last several years, I choose a different RPG that was not officially licensed for Star Wars and either hack, reskin, or just pop it in and say, hey, it's in Star Wars now. I'm very excited because this is post May the 4th Be With You minicon, which was very fun. I got my 100th different RPG run or played in set in Star Wars, none of which were officially licensed Star Wars RPGs. That said, I played those as well. They're all good, but this is fun because it allows us to explore different parts of the galaxy, different kinds of stories. We are playing Fellowship. This has been a quarterly. We are in the winter phase, in the very end. This is the last session with our good buddy Cody because of hashtag adult life and hashtag scheduling. But that's okay. We will end with a bang, and there's always more Cody down the road, just in different permutations. In this Fellowship game, I've taken 3 different books of Fellowship and hacked them all together to try to make it Star Warsy. We are telling the tale of the fall of the EU canon, non-canon legends, blah blah blah, of Zinge's empire. Warlord Zinge is a person who, after Palpatine dead, died in Return of the Jedi. He went down, he died, shaft, go down. People go down a shaft, always never come back in Star Wars. I've seen a lot of Star Wars. I have, it's a verifiable fact. So Palpatine's gone forever, and Zinch says, "So what? I've got this slice of the galaxy. I'll continue to rule it in for the good of the Empire." And you guys have an objection to that idea. You have so far defeated 2 of his lieutenants. In Dathomir, you defeated Taron Malicos. In Zygeria, you defeated Queen Nola Sintel. You have also defeated another one of his minions and converted her to your side, as she is now a good guy.
Overdoing.
Formerly a nemesis, now reformed, Matron Chevalsa Henri's. Now, she does have her own opinion about how to make the galaxy right that maybe not everybody agrees with, but she's one of your buddies now. We had a couple of post game before this game amenities, retcons, adjustments. Zapu, who went out on a starfighter that exploded and was saved by the Force, brought back in. Yes, thank you, Greg. That was wonderful. Saved, brought back into Nola Sintel, the Zygerian Queen's ship, Dominion's Claw. I should have asked for a death move, but I didn't. I missed it. And we also looked at the fellowship moves because the crew has defeated Queen Nola Sintel and the Zygerians, who were never seen on screen. We're very thankful and offered up a fellowship move. And you guys chose the fellowship move of upgraded flesh, the cyborgs of this community. There's cyborgs in Zygeria. It turns out there are. Don't go looking for it in comics or books or audiobooks or anything. Just trust me, they're there because I said so, and I thought this was a cool fellowship move. So the cyborgs of this community agreed to share their gifts with you, and we folded that into the story of Zop being rushed into the infirmary slash manufactory on Nola Sintel's ship, and he was fitted with new cybernetics. If you remember, Zop's arm exploded, so he kind of needed it. He needed some stuff. We also uh, teased out or further described that little Falkine invading Queen Nola Sintel. That is how it is that you have defeated the Ygarians. She has more important stuff to deal with. So if we're okay with it. I think she is in exile. Perhaps she doesn't return to the Zygerians. Little Falkine and her are figure out how to live together in a new symbiotic relationship. So, that is that. We had some Destiny playbooks choices as well that folks may discuss during their introductions. And then we will pick up with the Dominion's Claw, your Trojan horse, to help get you to the planet of Sereno, where the warlord Zinj awaits. I don't think he's waiting for you. He totally doesn't. He thinks you're dead, probably, or maybe he doesn't. So, with all of that gigantic long monologue over, let's go around the horn and remind folks of your characters. So I'm going to end with Cody and then pick up the story after Cody's introduced himself. So I'm going to start from the far right part of the character keeper, meaning Greg, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hey, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Zop Books, he, him pronouns as well. Zop, the Rhodian bounty hunter, star of stage and screen. Maybe not. Maybe that last part. As mentioned, previously exploded, pulled back, now rebuilt, and is ready to just to bring justice to Zinj for all of his crimes.
Excellent. He is now the 6 million credit Rhodian. Excellent. Thank you very much, Greg. And next up is Kay.
Hey, I'm Kay of the She and They variety, and I play Darren von Vorlock, our heir, who just so happens to, be BFFs with this thing called a Holocron Sith. Don't know if you've ever heard of it, or a Sith Holocron Sith, huh? And he has taken of its dark nature and the secrets of emotion that it holds to unlock the ancient secret Destiny playbook. He is currently in a weird emotional space about this holocron, everyone dying, and the whole shebang of the world. So we'll kind of see how that plays out as his, mentor Orin probably dies today, as I've been told.
Nothing written in stone, friends. Next up is Steven. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Nanta, the Ewok hero, whose pronouns are also he, him. Nanta, jumps into danger and does crazy things, and has a little mount, Brux, that we got in way back in the first session. And tries to make sure everybody gets fed, not just with food, but also with nourishment for the soul.
Oh, how wholesome. That's lovely. Especially since he's a murder bear. Cody, please introduce yourself and tell us about Orin.
Yeah, all right. I'm
time.
Cody. Yeah. Hello. Hello, friends. It's been a journey, hasn't it? Welcome to the game. I am Cody. I use the he, him pronouns. I'm playing Oron the Jedi. Also he, him. He is a hack of the elf playbook. And with some dabbling in the lantern, I just picked up the Enlightened Destiny. I don't know why everyone thinks I need to die. So that's just my personal thing right now. He's got a lot to live for, but maybe that'll make it all the more sweeter when he has to go. We'll see. Anyways, that's it. What more do you need to know? He had a secret love child that now is not a secret. So maybe it's time to step up and raise the boy. We'll see. Take it away,
Is
Rich.
it a
Kill me.
secret love child if you're secretly married also?
No, I guess not. Okay, so it's a secret family. He's got a secret. He's got a whole secret bag going. It's like it's all on the up and up, but it's still a secret.
It's true.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's one of the worst kept secrets in all of Jedidom. So we pick up with you guys on the Dominion's Claw in hyperspace, headed rocketing towards Sereno, the capital planet of Zinj's empire. And a I'd like for each of you to think for a few moments. I'll go around the horn as we set up a few scenes and think about Zygarians, a feline species that is as at current predicated on slave labor, has many fine things that they have uh, created or purchased with this
Slave money.
yeah, with the money, the riches from the hard work of others. I'm curious if we each could define just a little bit about Zygarian culture, something that is on this ship, or a room, or a piece of art, something that either speaks to the Zygarian culture in domination, or perhaps hints back to a time which was a little more idyllic that perhaps they could return to with Queen Nola Sintel in exile. The reason that this community offered you fellowship and rescued poor Zabus from the gates of death. So we have a number of wishes to fulfill, and I am quite interested in some of the several wishes that were oriented around this aforementioned secret family. So I'd like to frame up a scene with Oron and Versi. And hey, Darren, if at any point in time you would like to enter the scene,
Oh, heck yeah.
you may do so. So, Oron,
Hmm.
I lay the mantle upon you first. Where in Dominion's Claw are you having this private conversation with Versi, your wife, your lover, your
Both, brother,
companion?
both.
Yeah,
Yeah, wife and lover and companion. Is Versi on the ship with us, or is she on? Is it a hollow call? Okay, she's on the
I
ship.
want her physically there.
Perfect. Okay, I think we are in a uh Oron's job on our ship on the Diligent Spark is navigator. So I think he's found the matching room here in the Dominion's Claw to put his skills to use. So he's there in the navigation room,
Navigation.
which I think has, even for the navigators, they have plush seats, although on the armrests it looks like they've been clawed pretty regularly. And I think scattered across some of the navigation consoles is a fine green herb crushed up. Somebody was having fun in here before we caused a ruckus. But yes, that's where they're at. So he's kind of like sitting at a navigation console, turning, looking at her.
Nice. Are there any others here at the navigation room, or is it just the two of you alone?
Just the two of us for now.
Excellent. Excellent. So, with just the two of you, with her feeling secure in your privacy, I think she rises from the plush seat where she was seated and comes over to place a hand on your shoulder. We could be at the last days of the rebellion here, if we're lucky.
If we're lucky, if we do what we must, yes, this could all be over soon.
Where do we go, Oren? What's next for us?
I've been thinking on that for a while now, since we first left Von Warlock. I think we can. I would like to make a home for ourselves. Where would you wish to do it? Would you wish to do it back on Warlock?
I have a fair number of holdings there. I know that Darren likely does not consider me much of an advisor any longer, but there are other contacts.
If that is, I would hope that with this task before us completed, we'd be safe. We wouldn't have to hide anymore. We can do things differently than we have been, which is what I would very much like myself. I have no roots anywhere but with you, Versi. So wherever it is you wish to be, we will make it our home, and the two of us will raise our son. And force willing, he'll be good, and life will be kind for us.
Yes. What if you do not proceed with us, Warren? What if you don't travel into the heart of darkness? I think Darren can manage without needing your guidance now. And you know Versi well enough that there's something about this approach. You've seen her manage Darren in the past when he was a little more manageable.
Mm-hmm.
And you've picked up subtle cues. She's trying to manage you right now.
Do I? So just to clarify, I'm understanding her as asking, what if at this last mission I don't go with?
Yes, that is exactly what she is suggesting.
Versi, dear, I don't think that now, here at the end of things, is the time to turn from the path. The Force has guided me all my life, and it has guided me here. To turn from this now would be straying from the path the Force has laid out for me, I believe. I understand the fear, the concern. And believe me, no one more than I wishes for me to see it through. I think while Darren has grown into the man he's going to be and the ruler he will be, there is always a place for friendly advice in your ear. There should be, at least. And here, at the deciding event of this pocket of rebellion, Darren may need it the most. And I would hate to leave Zop and Nanta without a trusted hand by their side. Do you wish to flee from here, Mercy? Do you wish for the two of us to turn back now?
No, not at all. I just... You're going into very unprecedentedly dangerous territory. You and I. You've spoken with me about the future you've seen for Matos. What if that future happened because neither of us were there to guide him, to love him?
What you ask is what haunts my dreams, waking and sleep. That is my fear. But fear is an emotion that leads us to the dark side. I can only believe that my presence here will do more good than ill to
Well,
all
then, but what
involved.
for our son?
I will be there for him.
I think at that moment there is a knock on the door, but what for our son? Knock on the door.
Nice. That's good. That's good. And she straightens and then moves to sit at the seat by your side instead of standing close to you, Oren.
Come in.
And I think Darren comes in. Darren comes in and it's not wrapped around him, but he is simply holding the Sith holocron. I
To
thought
what do we owe the pleasure?
and he looks a little pallid. A lack of sleep shown in his eyes, some mild baggage there. I thought maybe we should all talk about recent uncoverings. We've never really had a moment to discuss it before we head to perhaps a final battle. There are several layers we should discuss.
Well, of course, Prince Darren, the plan is to use Dominion's Claw to help us.
No, that is not the plan or what I was speaking of. And I think I'm imagining there's just like a little table between like the two seats, and he puts the holocron on it. You are wed. I apologize for not getting a gift for your union.
It's unnecessary, Prince. We kept it small for a reason.
Yes, I guess only those you deemed important enough to know. And there's such clear hurt in his voice. Like he's trying to like stand tall, but it's yeah.
Prince Darren, no one, no matter how close to us, could know. And I am sorry for that meant you and your sister and all of Versi's family could not be there. But we found it prudent to keep our own counsel on this. And again, I am sorry for the hurt that caused you.
It did
But I
not
would not
hurt
change
me.
that.
That was simply a logical decision that you made that I respect.
Of course.
And you also have a child. Congratulations. But I think there is concern, or at least if I am to be aware, and he looks towards the Sith holocron.
Yes, we do have a son, Matos. He's back on the planet now, being tended to. Freyr, one of my wolves, my companions, is there with him. And we hope that in defeating this remnant of the Empire, we will make a safe galaxy again for all of us, including my boy. Now, Darren, this holocron that you place here, it is good to see you able to release your grasp on it. When you found this artifact, I was visited by a vision.
Of Matos.
You know them, of Matos. My son, as he may become. And it has weighed on me for many of these days that we have been traveling and fighting this rebellion. The worry that without me, without his mother, my boy will grow dark into the type of person who would create or bond with just such a device as this.
Like me.
Now, no, not like you, not in that way. You are not like the vision I saw, Darren. You are walking your path. You are still finding your way. The Matos that I saw in this future, he had turned from the path a long time before. He had fallen perhaps beyond redemption. But I wish to prevent that fall from ever occurring. And that, I believe, means two things. I and Versi will survive and get back to our son and care for him as parents should. But I also feel that the Sith holocron's continued existence puts that at risk. In my vision, Matos, he mentioned this device, this holocron, this power, and I believed him to be speaking true. Just despite what I know of the deceit of the dark side, this Matos wasn't speaking from the dark. He seemed to be speaking from experience, and that was that this holocron, it controlled something of the people of Warlock. As you know, you've discussed the stillness. You've learned it and began studying its ways, and you're finding it in the Force. I believe that this device perhaps keeps the stillness at bay from most of the people of Warlock. I think that should it be freed, as the Force should be, yes, there would be great emotion for a time, and perhaps turmoil, and perhaps incredible partying and feasting and whatnot, and I'm sure more than a fair few of fights. But in doing so, you would learn to master your emotions rather than cut yourselves off from them entirely to prevent yourselves from going gold.
It is
Perhaps.
Oh no, you
No,
go.
go
I
ahead.
thought you were finished. No, you finish.
Perhaps in destroying this thing in front of us, it will release that back to the people of Warlock. It will make a more whole, balanced place in the Force for my son to grow. I do not have the power of visions. I only see them as the Force gives them. I am not an oracle. I cannot see what will come. I can just feel what I believe to be the proper course. Now, that was a lot, Darren, and I'm sorry, Versa, we haven't discussed this at length. Prince, what is it you wish to discuss about this?
I think you are right in many things. I think that this holocron creates much which has been lost and not remembered amongst my people. And he kind of like gets a little closer and he's drawing a finger over like sort of the inlaid markings. You know, it's the pain, but also the joy, the fear, the power, the rage, the despair of my people, our people. And I think he looks to Versi, and then he looks to you. He's including you in this. And I must say perhaps even more than that, which it contains. It contains... I know I have not always shown proper diligence and appreciation for you both, and what you have done for me, care from just since my parents' death, and your guidance as, I guess, an unwitting pair of foster parents in a way, both advisors in a place and even together. And if it's true that this is Matos, someone I could, and he can't seem to meet either of your eyes. We are people who will be raised in a sense by the same parents, brothers, perhaps even in another sense, foster brothers. And as such, as I have forgotten to give a gift for both your wedding and the birth of Matos, I will give a different gift. And I think you watch as Darren starts to reach out, and it's kind of clear his intention is to destroy the Sith holocron.
Really?
Yeah. Does
That is the gift you're offering.
yes.
It turns
D-
out that the Sith holocron does not want to be destroyed.
Is he going to say anything to is the Matos going to say anything to Darren as it's clear he's reaching out with that intent? Perhaps the sort of whip of his light whip is starting to glow a bit.
Surely you don't intend to ruin me. What are you doing? Do you think this will earn their love?
I'm looking and I think Darren had paused from his brows first and he says it out loud without realizing it, but also I am not looking to ruin you, Matos. I am looking to prevent your ruin.
I worried this day would come. You slid so close to me.
I love you.
And I love you, Darren. And so you must understand what is to come. I do out of love. And you feel your body reaching. You have the whip. Do you feel yourself starting to crack that whip at Versi?
What? No. I try and pull back.
Do you? Okay. That sounds like a good idea. It definitely sounds like a thing you should try to do.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Where's this damn roller at? Where the hell is it?
So there's a move in telling stories called the showdown. It doesn't matter what you are doing, the Overlord or one of their generals or a source of power has appeared. And now you need to deal with it. The showdown always begins with the new threat asserting itself. They make a show of power, causing chaos or fear or fire or explosions. Whatever they do, it is dangerous. Oron, you see Darren turn from trying to attack the holocron and attack your wife. She tries to dodge out of the way, but the electric whip lashes across her, sends her flying in pain. The fear turns her skin yellow, heading quickly towards gold. And you see Darren fighting as every step he takes closer to try to finish her.
Matos, no. Don't make me do this.
Oh, Darren, it's for your own good. I love you. You must defeat them. We will never become what we are meant to be with these two shackled to us.
Please no. And he's gone gold, and there's like golden tears, I think, also on his cheek.
Wonderful. Oron, seems like Darren has lost control of himself. He has given so much to this holocron that it is now taking. What do you do?
I wish to do two things. I want to, Oron.
Yeah. I think the holocron, there's like reddish
Yeah,
lightning
okay.
flickering
So-
around it. we hear a bit of the Duel of Fates starting to play in
Okay.
the background.
All right, Richard. Richard,
Yes, sir.
Richard, here's what's gonna happen. Oron knows that this is this isn't Garen, this is this influence. And so he needs to sever that connection. Oron holds a hand to both, a force hand, as it were, one to the holocron and one to Darren. And to Darren, he speaks softly. Darren, find your balance, find your center. The corruption of this is influencing you, but it is not you and it is not your actions. You can see it through. You can find the light and walk the path again. Listen to my voice. Breathe. And at the same time, so I'm trying to, reveal the way is the move I'm triggering to Darren. I am reaching out with the force to the holocron. And rather than sort of trying to interface with it in any way, I wish for Freya to appear, bite it, and disappear through the world, the world between worlds with it, and take it somewhere that it can be dealt with. But right now, it needs to be away from here.
Oh, wicked. Okay. So
that's
if you're revealing the way, then you tell someone what's best for them and you meet it. They listen and roll plus wisdom on a 10+. They will do as you say with hope. So you're trying to reveal the way to Darren, correct?
To fight that corruption. Yep.
Okay, cool. I like that.
So I love that, and I'd like to do a bit of a twist on it. So I have parry, counter, thrust. When you fight an enemy one-on-one in melee range, you may melee range. Inside myself feels pretty melee range, Rich.
Yeah. Melee.
You may keep them busy as if you rolled a 10+.
Interesting. So that would obviate revealing the way.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I could. Yeah, because I was figuring it would be like a way. Oh, maybe I should roll that first.
Well, so what's going on here? Are you trying to keep them busy to keep the holocron busy?
Yeah, I guess, or to just like to keep. My thought was sort of like keep them busy in a sense to prevent my body and therefore Matos from like closing in.
Okay. But yeah, I like that. I like both ideas, right? I like Oron trying to offer you guidance and a pathway.
What if we just say the guidance works and that's why I'm able to use that move?
Well, the move isn't a rolled move. So I want to see the guidance. I want to see if
attempt.
Attempt.
Attempt first.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right. And then for the second thing there, for Freya, perhaps taking the holocron, we'll do my first move. We can do what Darren does with that, and then perhaps I mark Freya and she disappears with the holocron.
14.
All right.
Wow.
Oh,
I got boxcars +2.
Wild. Okay. Cool. That's it. I thought so. I think actually okay. So I don't want the boxcars to go away, but I think the way that reveal the way is written is Oron is rolling plus wisdom.
Oh.
When you tell someone it's best for them, you mean it and they listen, roll plus wisdom. Again, lack of like who rolls. So maybe that's your roll, but
yeah, that would be if I succeed, you roll with hope, and that's your roll. And if I don't, then there's you can do it on a 7 and 9. You can still do it and take the first 2 dice, obviously. But whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening.
Dice confusion.
It's okay. So let's see the roll
for revealing the way.
Yeah, revealing the way.
All right, it's okay. This one's going to be a 14. It's going to be boxcars +2. It's going to be insane. Hey!
Wow!
Not too far off, motherfucker. Let's Go!
Let's go. Wow. Okay. I'm glad that happened because the reject your wisdom bit would be very weird and awkward. I'm sure we'd figure it out. But yes, so that opens up the possibility, Darren, for you and yeah, you're fighting an enemy one-on-one in melee range. Parry, counter, thrust means that you can keep Matos, the influence, busy. You've bought some time here. Their attention is all on you. You are fighting each step of the way. Bercy is trying to crawl away from you guys to remove herself. She is very obviously injured. Sorry, just Cody's summary of the AI summary is great. Oron, I think you are using your Loth Wolf to try to overcome here.
Oh, yes, that's right. It wouldn't just do it. It'd be a move. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it is a move. Now, let me ask, do you guys each share a bond with each other, or is that not true at this moment?
me and Darren, or me and the
You and
Wolf?
Darren.
I have 2 with Darren, and I believe Darren has 1 with me. Yep, so we each have a bond.
Cool.
So that's
Yeah, I
So
went with him.
if it sounds like you guys are working together, so this overcome could be rolled with hope for Oron.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm rolling it with hope. And so do I need to mark this use of Freya to make this overcome happen?
Yes, and let me ask, are you looking to overcome, which means that the holocron has been, the harm is prevented, or are you
Mhm.
looking to finish the holocron?
Ooh.
Finish it. Looking to finish it. I think if we can solve this now, it needs to be solved. So let's try
Are you
and finish
trying
it.
to kill it? Are you trying to force it to retreat? Are you trying to outsmart it here, or are
Trying
you
to kill your son,
disabling it?
Oron?
It's not my son. It's a dark mirror future version. I think Oron is trying. Listen, he's using sense, right? Because everything with the Force is the sense. He is trying to release this cage, break open this cage, and return balance to the Force. That's what he's trying to do, Richard.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Richard.
Good. This is so many times. It's great. I
I'm
love
just
when you.
getting fucking amped.
It's so good. It's so good. Excellent. Then you are rolling in hope because Darren is willing to use that bond, and best of luck to you. If you roll poorly, things will go poorly.
Okay, so I'm rolling to finish finish them. I'm rolling finish them. I'm rolling 3 dice because of hope, and I'm rolling with sense because I feel that it's a force based experience here. So I'm getting +3. So here we go. I cannot be stopped today, baby. 6, 5 +3. I don't know the math. What's that? 14? What's that?
Yes.
The highest possible roll anybody's ever made in their lives? Thanks,
No.
Kay. You and we're killing this game.
That's amazing. So we see Freya jump in, pick up the holocron in its mouth. The lightning licks. You hear the sizzle and the burn as it does not. And then you hear the scream, no, as it opens the doorway and disappears. That was the Force definitely wanted this to happen. And that's pretty wonderful. We don't linger on this, but Versi is now safe. Darren, you are free from the poison of the holocron. It has been finished. Oron, you rose to the occasion, and the dice agreed and sang your praises. And then we quickly cut to
The kitchen.
Nanta. Nanta, what are you doing? Where are you in the ship?
So Nanta, of course, went looking for the galley. Where would this be? And what he's found is an area of the ship that the Zygarians used to used to eat and entertain themselves and everything. Zygarians being a cat-like race, Nanta finds an actual room that's like 2 floors high, and there are very realistic trees in here, and they're not, if I climb to the top, they're like connected, but they're not really like growing trees. They've been transplanted here, and this is where I think the Zygarians probably chase their prey. And Nanta climbs up to the top and finds a ledge and sits down and is contemplating things. And there's a fake it's like there's a projection on the walls of like daytime moving to night. And the sun is setting, and we get these rich red and orange and yellow kind of hues coming through these trees and their branches and everything. And he thinks really heavily about stuff. In the process, he's found they have cooking implements, but it's not the kind of thing that we would normally cook. I think along the way he found like the food that they feed to the slaves, it's just not great. But this is what they eat, but it tends to be very raw, very unprepared. But
Mhm.
he's found like some equipment that he could kind of make use of. And I think while he's sitting there, Zop, did you come in here?
Yeah, Zop is and where Nanta is undoubtedly seeing Endor. Zop sees parts of his home too. It's a swampy, foresty world as well. And sort of settles down it towards like they have a fake pond off to one side. And is looking down at like the fish that are swimming in the fake pond. Some are real and some are probably a holographic projection.
I think Nanta comes up kind of next to you, climbs down, um, and then comes up kind of next to you at the pond, and says, notices your, new arm and the cybernetic implants that you have. I think reaches out like a paw and kind of touches them and says, you've become more. You are different and larger than you were. We have many things ahead of us. And I think at this point, have we called in the fleet to go to Serrano?
Yeah, I would think so.
I think
Like
now's the point
behind
for us to
us, yeah.
call in. We place a call into Rex, and we
Mhm.
say, now's the time, and I think we're going to head into Serrano. But wait for the signal, wait for us to get in. And I turn to Zop and I say, I think our plan, we are an ally. And I think whenever we arrive, we will be greeted as honored guest. And as we enter the system's defenses, we should hit those defenses from the inside. They're prepared from the outside, and our fleet won't be able to defend, attack them. But once we get inside, our primary focus should be taking down their defenses and a surprise attack so that our fleet can come in. And then, of course, we can launch a small craft to take care of Zinj directly. What do you think?
We ignore their defenses, we will go directly to Zinj. As soon as we strike out, they will know.
True. But it's important to get the fleet here to be able to help prevent us from being consumed by the fleet surrounding Sereno. It must happen quickly. Oh, what if it happens at the same time? I'm envisioning
Yeah.
the claw. We aim the claw at the control ship, and we launch escape pods to go down to confront Zinj on Sereno, while the claw hits the control ship.
Someone will need to stay behind. It's okay not to. I can do it.
Zop, after the procedures, the new cybernetic implants, first, I'm imagining that your new cybernetic hand has some like Zygerian claws to it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Vibro claws, because it's
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Hot. I imagine it's sleeker. Like this is definitely a more beautiful arm than what you had before. You're having a very serious conversation and thinking strategically, offering yourself up as the sacrifice here. But all the while, since you left the infirmary, you've been hearing this faint whisper. Isn't Nanta works at a different cadence? You've just now heard a reply. What implant have you received that you think is allowing you to tap into this other kind of communication?
I think Zop's ear was damaged more than he possibly thought. And while the arm is very obvious, he has like the right side of his face is a little bit more rebuilt. Maybe underneath the skin, you can see if you look closely.
You realize, honing into it here after you've offered onto the solution, this seems to be coming in on the same bandwidth as the HoloNet, a constant feed of data and information sent throughout the galaxy, primarily pumped from places like Aderlon and the Minos cluster. And of course, Coruscant has its own broadcast feed because the Empire did it. But also, you have picked up the band from Sereno. And it's that whisper back that cues you into there's a communication going on a band that, like how text messages ride on the same feed as our phone calls. It's just riding within the HoloNet subspace communication band. And it's that whisper back that cued you into someone is talking to a person on the Dominion claw. What do you do?
Zop pauses for a moment and then looks at Nanta. I'm suddenly aware that there may be somebody on this ship that is communicating back to Zinj.
Nanta kind of hops up and pulls out like a stick and points it around and says, "Where?"
Ewok Solutions.
Yeah. So I focus in even harder on that very soft whisper. Does it sound like any of my companions?
I think you are looking closely with your ears.
With my ears, and that's sense, right? I'm so good at that.
It is.
It's a -1.
Is Nanta, do you guys have a share a bond? Does Nanta want to help you so you
We
can
do.
roll and hope?
We do share a bond, and I think Nanta's exploration to find this kitchen area, he can lead Zop. Zop kind of cocks his ear and listens. Nanta cocks his ear but can't hear anything, and then leads Zop to new places within the ship that Nanta's already found and already looked through to see if he can't help home in on that.
All right, here we go. Rolling in hope, right? That's what this gives me.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna roll just as good as Cody. Here we go.
We'll see.
It's not bad. That's not bad. That's a 10.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, baby. That is sweet, man. So on a 7+, you get to ask 3 questions from the list. And I imagine you're asking these questions as you are
Yeah.
like a divining rod moving through the halls of the Dominion's claw. What about
is
the
out of
hallways that connect? I'm sorry, that
Yeah.
connect corridors and rooms of the Dominion's claw. What is it about it? Either the adornment, the shape of it, that speaks to something of Zygerian culture.
Yeah. Uh Something is out of place, what looks suspicious. And I think we find a part of the ship that doesn't have this Zygerian opulence, right? All of this like chiffon fabrics and golden accents. There's a spot of this that's a little bit more utilitarian.
Mhm.
That might be out of place, but like where do my suspicions guide me?
Nice. Yeah. Where do your suspicions guide you? I think where your suspicions guide you, the thing that's hidden here is that the signal seems stronger in the area where certain members of the party that traveled with you, who are off shift, are resting.
Ah, this is where they are
Mm-hmm.
in this. Okay. Tell me about this spy. What are they doing? What will they do next?
You enter the room where some of your troops are resting. There are a few Dathomiri, uh, a few other soldiers, some Zygerians who were happy to not work for Anolis until, as well as a few slaves who you freed. They're all resting. And this spy, as you come closer, it's obvious this signal is coming from none other than Tezzy. TZ-346, the Imperial trooper who was loyal to the matron. She came with you when Matron Chevalsa turned. She's sleeping now, or so it seems.
What is going on here? What do my senses tell me?
You can ping her and realize that Tezzy has some Imperial cybernetics implanted. And whatever functionality that has, it is pinging the network on Sereno. She may not even be aware of what's transpiring.
Zop calmly rests his hand on Nanta's spear, as Nanta probably comes to the realization that TZ is the spy that Zop
Yeah,
is
and there are people
worried
who are
out.
like looking, is
Yeah.
everything all right? You know? Well, I think one of the slaves pets you, Nanta, because you're cute, even though you have a spear.
I wake her.
Zop. Nanta. I
Hezi,
was
I'd
taking
like
a
to do.
brief rest before my shift.
I think you should come
So,
to the medical suite with us.
Tezzy says, so Nanta has a bond with Tezzy
Mm-hmm.
and says, we know that I know that this has been a very stressful time, but it appears that we might need to talk to you further about what's happening. Will you come with us? And he says, we'll let you get back to your rest here shortly.
Of course.
And takes her hand, right, and walks out, leading her back towards where the medical bay is that Zop mentioned.
Okay. And it's the same place where you had your procedures up. It is very advanced. You've turned off the scanning to see if anyone that's marked as a slave tries to enter. And is this a place that was or is run by a cyborg, by a droid, by a Zygarian?
A Zygarian cyborg.
I mean, yeah, totally. Zygarian cyborg. All right, that's what it is. Zygarian cyborg. I think they have, they're a cyborg, but all of their implants are very subtle. They are beautiful. Zop, have the medications worn off? Are you feeling any discomfort?
I feel fine. Hezi here, perhaps, though, is in need of your attention. And he just like grabs her by the arm so that she can't run.
Yeah, there was some definite hesitation. She looks to you,
Yeah.
Nanta, because Tessie trusts you. You're the reason she came to the fellowship. She has a bond with you.
Yeah.
Not
Um,
Nanta.
Something here is happening, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Trust us. This is the best for everything that we believe in. We will treat you as fairly as possible, but there seems to be something. Our enemy seems to have some sway over you, and we need to get to the bottom of it. So I'm going to turn to the Zygarian cyborg and ask them, can you sedate her? And he holds her hand the whole time.
Oh, sweet. Yes, of course I am happy to sedate. And the Zygarian, go ahead and give given a name. They are named Isal Kidras. Isal will. Their little claw. You see that there is a drip, like a syringe that comes from their claw, and they reach out and tap Tessie's neck, and she quickly slumps over. Were you aware of this one's cybernetics? They're
I just
very
became aware.
subtle. Ah, my upgrades. Yes, yes. Yes? Told you. I told you would be pleased with the work I've done.
Please do what you can.
Of course. It appears that this one is in communication. I'm going to sever that.
Don't sever that yet.
What if it is dangerous to us?
What if if you sever it, they will know that it has been found. Whenever you are hunting prey, this is like putting them off the scent. We can use this as a distraction.
Your friend is clever, Zapbooks.
My friend is wise.
So, Isal will work to ascertain. Do you wait around, or do you guys have more important things to do and you'll receive a report later?
So I'd like to see if she can, what exactly is going on. Can this be removed from Tezzy? Is this something that has to remain in Tezzy in order to function? What exactly happens? What are the circumstances?
Cool. So Oran and Darren, the two of you have successfully, defeated the holocron. That is obviously not really Matos. Versy's injured. What do you wish to do? Take her to the infirmary?
I
think Darren.
No, go ahead, Darren. You speak
I think
first.
Darren, like, as soon as like the holocron is gone, like fallen to his knees, like there's sweat on his brow, and immediately he reaches for the Bacta spray, and starts applying it. Just absolutely. I'm so sorry, Jessica. I wasn't trying. I'm so sorry.
You weren't in control.
I think he starts crying again, like the tears that were once flowing, and I think he just starts weeping. The guilt, the shame.
Oran hugs Darren and Versy and like hugs them together like it's a big family group hug.
That's sweet. I love it.
And he's rubbing Darren's back. He's squeezing Versy tight, and he says, "It was not your fault, Darren. That wasn't you. And I know now what I must do."
Nice.
There had been a second part of my intended gift. It is a choice. He's like wiping his face. A choice you must make going into this. I will not allow for both of you to go to Savannah with us. One of you must go to be with Matos. I will not let him become this because of any of this. He needs at least one of you, and this is so very dangerous.
Oran smiles and does the he pats your face, Darren, and he says, "You are too kind, Prince, and I feel that the forces, it always provides, it always guides. We are of similar minds. Please let me and Versy here retire to our chamber for a moment, and we will let you know of our choice."
Of course. Or is it destroyed? Or
For now, be content that it is away from us.
if it is not, I would like to exercise my. I demand, as a prince, that I be the one to destroy it.
We will speak soon, Darren.
Yeah, I
Rest.
think-
You need it to lead the people.
Yeah, I think he sort of steps away and he looks back for a moment at you. And he will, yeah, he'll, after a moment of just his eyes lingering on you both, he turns away and goes to step out.
Nice. I would like to have Oron take Versi to the infirmary, because then we could have 3 PCs in the same scene this session. This would be nice. But before that, I'd like to go ahead and take our soul bio break. So let's do that. So we pick up the seed that I demanded, which is 3 PCs in the same place. And Darren, you could show up dramatically at any moment that you want. It's a special move called 4 PCs in the same scene. So Oron, you arrive with Versi, helping her walk. I think she's weakened, but maybe you gave her enough back to where she's able to walk generally under her own power, still concerned about her. When you enter the infirmary, you see Zop is there, cybered up Zop with new arm, and Nanta is there as well with Brooks, who is licking himself. Brooks is, not Nanta.
It's quite busy in here. Are you feeling all right, Zop? Your enhancements not giving you any trouble?
No, they've seemed to give me some sort of intuition.
That's called the Force, my friend. You're just listening better.
Zop sniffed out a spy bug, that is being used. Probably, you said you think it's going to Sereno? Zop?
Oh, we are on the way to Sereno, right? That's
No.
Greg out of character. Okay. Yes. I believe our position may have been already given away.
What is this bug spy you mentioned? Is it a device we can send a signal out through to confuse them?
It's old Imperial tech. It appears to have been inside Tezzy this whole time.
Yes, it appears. Sorry, the Zygarian is rude and doesn't give a shit about you talking and just talks over you. It appears that this is initially a communication device whereupon TZ-346 could receive commands or orders, communication from high command, but it turns out that there is a great deal more here.
What do you mean by more?
Thank you for asking, Nanta. I adore you. There's a small droid brain inside the implants in her mind. It is loyal to the Empire in communicating your plans. I would code this as dangerous. Shall I terminate her?
No.
So, Nanta says, I promised Tezzy we would do whatever is needed to help her, and that we would take care of her. She cannot know that we know of this, because then the droid would know. And I'm going to take everyone outside, away from the droid brain, so we can have this discussion. So it might not know
in the
us.
infirmary currently?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I help Versi to a seat, and I say, I'll be right back, my love. I go with Nanta, Zop to discuss the plan. We're out in the hallway.
And I basically I say, I mean, this droid brain is an asset because we can feed it information, and Zop will think that information is accurate.
Zinj.
But we need. What did I say?
Zop.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Zinch will think that information is accurate, but we need to figure out a way to take care of Tessie.
This is Oran smiles. The Force has a funny way of showing itself. I believe, Nanta, you are correct. I think perhaps these things align with what Prince Darren just offered Versi and I, and with what I myself am considering. Here's what we do. We send Tessie as a pilot for myself and Versi. I think we are to leave. You all
Now?
are reuniting
Now?
with the fleet. Give me a moment, Nanta, and in time you will understand. But for now, it seems I wish, if I may be honest, I wish to make a bigger show of it. But it seems important that we speak and decide on this quickly. Tessie will shuttle, be the pilot for myself and Versi, or perhaps just myself. We'll see when Versi and I discuss it. And you all can rejoin the fleet. And perhaps with that knowledge sent back, it can undo some of the damage of this droid brain already sending signals to Zinj. It might not be much, but it might be a start. Is that an idea, Nanta?
So
Zop?
I think that's a good idea. Why are you leaving us?
I have important work to do elsewhere. And when we're all together again, I'll explain it then. But just trust that it is important.
That's very, very good, because I think that's what we will tell Tessie. It's that there's very important work that needs to be done, and you are going to go take care of that. Where are you headed?
I will be heading back to Warlock. But we can make a detour first.
Well, you understand that in this case you will be bait, and it is very dangerous.
I do. But I am certain that with the time that I will buy you, you will see the day one.
And you will, do I have your word that you will take care of Tessie? That she will be
course.
protected?
Of course.
And I think Darren just was like, absolutely not. And he like is glaring at Oron, actually. That was not the point of my offer.
Darren, your offer, Prince, was very kind. This is just what must be done, I think.
And Versi will be on separate transports.
Versi won't be on a transport at all. I can send her back with Freya.
Fine.
No, I do not wish to bring any danger to her either. It is simply, and if I might be so bold, Nanta, I don't believe that I will be as in much danger as you all are heading towards Sereno. Tessie, with me on board, a tasty morsel if they can get me. They won't get us. If they could get us whenever they wanted, they would have already seized this transport.
So, I think the plan is that I just want to make sure that I have this straight. Oron, you and Tezzy, you send Version ahead through your ways. You and Tezzy go on a very important mission. I suggest
Yes.
that this be something that would be an easy distraction, that Zinj would think we have to gather a weapon from someplace that was left there, maybe a weapon of your people, before we attack, and that we will get your signal before we take the fleet to engage on Sereno.
Yes. Real quick, where is Warlock again in the Steven's in the same spot I am in the Empire map? Where did we say is it over by Boss?
It's way by that Zygeria, actually.
Okay, it's by Zygeria. Okay. So I am going to offer, I say, perhaps we can say there is a moon by Garos down in X25, basically. So opposite direction from Warlock and Zygeria, and decently far away from Sereno to draw forces away. There's a moon on Garos that has what I need, what we need, what the Alliance needs. And we are making a diplomatic journey there.
Narratively, may I make a slight suggestion? Maybe instead of that being Garos, maybe it's Yavin.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's good. Is Yavin in? Oh, yeah, Yavin's right there. It's just so close to Sereno. Yeah, I'm into it.
But I mean, that's a feint that they would be like, oh, maybe we could.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Yavin actually works even better for what my purposes are.
And I think that I think the rest of us will take this ship and dock with the fleet, and head towards the fleet, which is stationed, let's call it around Van Dyne or something like that on the map. But as soon as Tezzy and you leave, we know that the fleet is really in another location, and that's where we will head, so that Zinj believes the attack will come from one direction and not from where the fleet really is.
This will be very dangerous, Oron.
It'll be fine.
You will
It
not
won't
have
be
me
nearly-
to protect you. You will not have Nanta.
No.
Darren looks as if he's chopped liver for a hot second. It's great. And Zop doesn't mention him. Like that little like teenage, like what? Like raise of a brow.
Too much of a danger to yourself, Darren. Zop reaches into his spacesuit and pulls out a kyber crystal. This was once my lover's. I will not take no for an answer. He presses it into your hands.
Oran takes it. He says, again, this is the Force provides in mysterious ways. I will take this, Zop.
You know what you must do.
I know what I must do. And also, this then. There's no reason to delay. He takes out his elven wine, or his, alien wine, and he gives it to Nanta. The healing elven wine, alien wine. He says, use it to make a good meal before the final fight. He takes off his cracked kyber pendant, and he gives it to Darren. He says, you are still but a fledgling in the ways of the Force, but one day you will be strong, Darren. And this can help you on that path. You are learning the art of the keen senses, and this will provide you more connection with the Force to tap into, especially now that the holocron is away. Zop, I wish to provide you with something myself, but alas, I have nothing that you don't already have, and you have given me such a great gift. it would be redundant to try and offer something in exchange. Thank you, my friend. I will protect this, and I will use it to defend me and Tezzy.
And
Nanta, you should wake Tezzy.
Nanta, whenever you hand him the wine, he hands you back some food, like a packet of food for your journey. And says, remember us as you eat this, because we are family. Says, I will go get Tezzy. And he turns back to Oron and he says, remember, you must lie to Tezzy until the time is right. And then you should tell her the truth. And I'm
I will
going
do
to
just that.
I'm going to walk into the medical facility and ask the Zygerian doctor.
Cool. Zygerian
to-
doctor is saying, is currently speaking with Versi. No, but a full replacement would allow you to. Yes.
I think while they're talking back and forth, I'm going to whisper to the Zygerian doctor to add a deactivation switch to the droid brain and the signal, so that when Oron decides, he can deactivate this. Is that something that you can do?
And by a deactivation switch, you mean a Cortex bomb, correct?
Oh, no. What I mean is,
No, I could shape the explosion so that it would only destroy her. I promise.
right. You have to understand how important and how much money she is worth.
Ah, how much she's
So-
worth. Yes, this I understand.
We need to keep her intact and not harm her. So, what needs to happen is we need to make sure that the implants are deactivated, but she is not harmed in any way. Otherwise, her worth is reduced.
I'll see what I can do. And then, yeah, we can elide dwelling too long on that, but
I think Darren has gone to like slip the necklace on after you've given it to him, Moron. And he watches as you have that kind of moment where you're like, don't have anything for you, Zop, sorry. And I think, Zop, would you give us a moment?
Of course.
And I think he waits and then he kind of claps. Gets a little closer and then it looks like he's going to do something, abortive gesture, and then he kind of claps a hand on Oron's shoulder. And he says, this is not goodbye. This is a see you later. And that is an order from your prince.
Of course, my prince. And my pupil, if I may be so bold, my friend and my family. And in time, Darren, you will be there to help me train Matos in the ways of the Force. May the Force be with you all.
Sure. So that was like teenage, I can't handle this emotion, just like sure. And he kind of like looks at Oron and he says, you saw, we will not let what was shown in that holocron occur. So you must remember, I strayed and struggled without my father, and therefore you must stay alive because Matos needs his.
I will. Thank you, Prince. Thank you.
Right. And he kind of like jerkily pulls the hand away. get going then. It kind of like turns around. And, like,
Yes, let me speak with Versi and tell her of the plan. And yeah, or Oron will go into the infirmary, take Versi out, let her know, hey, you're going to follow Freya through this path and get home fast. I will join you in in a week.
I think you see hope in her eyes. This is more than she thought could be accomplished. She does ask, after saying, yes, let's do this, has Darren fired me?
I
I
think
think for the moment, yes. You're on a leave of absence.
Mixed feelings.
Oron feels a letter in his back pocket that is that Darren slipped in. That's like a dismissal paper for Mercy.
Yeah. So he said,
With
Oron's
a
like, I
very
think
generous
maybe.
pension.
Wait a second. Oh my God! All of our problems are solved.
She puts her hands in yours without either of us to guide him.
He has better advisors than us now. He has Nanta, he has Zop, and he has himself.
Himself, perhaps, but Zop.
Zop is wise in many ways, Versi, more than we know.
Had to have upgraded.
The Force brought us all together for a reason, and one day you'll believe in it too.
Nice, cool. Then I think Freya steps from the world between worlds, sans holocron of any kind, and guides your wife away. And then I'd like a brief conversation with Nanta and Tezzy when she wakes. You've told her about the mission. She's accepted it, of course. She's a little curious about what's going on. What do you tell her?
I tell her that we had to make sure that she was physically able to do this mission, and that this is very important, that Oron and her are going to go find something that Oron needs. I'm not sure what this is. It's one of his things. And it's vital that this be done before we can hit Singe. We will wait for a signal. We're going back to the fleet to to rendezvous with Captain Rex. And I take her hand as she wakes up and I say, Tezzy, I don't think you understand how important you are to us. I'm so glad you've joined this fellowship. And I have Oron's word that he will protect you as any of the rest of us have.
If this is how I can serve the rebellion, then this is what I'll do, Nanta. And she bends down, puts her arms around you, gives you a little hug.
I think this is what must be done. I don't see any other way. And I'm sad that you won't be with us whenever we confront the Empire. But just know, we will take them out in your honor as well.
Thank you, Nanta. I know that you will. And I say, yeah, no, that's great. Cool. So I think, yeah, I'm curious. Oron, you get on board the shuttle with Tezzy. The ship pops out of light speed so that you can take off. I don't imagine shuttles leave ships while they're in light speed. That seems dangerous and crazy, right? So does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I think we
Yeah.
had to stop at some point, and exactly. I think that's when the shuttle will go off, and we will take back and head in the direction that we said we would.
Cool. So, feel like maybe an Oron bit of epilogue?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
can I just do a quick scene of or an idea? Sort of, it's less of a scene and maybe just a quick second thing.
Of course. Sure.
So I think before Versi had like left through the portal, I think Darren finds his sister on the ship because she was with us, and I think he would just say, "As much as I adore having you and being close, I think it is better for our people. Versi is about to take a special quick back to Voron, and I think Warlock, and I think you should go with her. Because once we do what needs to be done and Zinj falls, you will need to take back your proper place from our cousin." It's not safe for both me as the heir apparent and you as our queen to both be going into this battle.
There is wisdom in your words, brother, but I wanted to watch him die. He's done so much to our people.
I will have it recorded.
It's not the same. But I agree.
I will sate bloodlust for us enough.
You must return. We've lost too much for me to lose you.
I will do my best. I have fired Versi. So she's, I don't know if there's like a different position you can give her when you get back or something, but for now I've fired her. So she may return.
You're keeping Shirtle, though.
Oh, I don't think I can get rid of him unless you tell him to stop.
Oh, I will never tell him to stop. All right. She comes in for another, like, it's a more heartfelt, sad hug.
Yeah.
She doesn't think you're coming back. You can sense it.
Yeah, and I think Darren hugs her so tightly. And I think he pulls out the Beskar blade that he's been carrying and holds it out to her and says, "Since I have, this force weapon, it's best that maybe this go back with you and to our people. I'm sorry, I don't have the shield. Zop lost it."
May the force be with you.
May the silence be with you. Or God damn it, may the stillness be with you.
We did a little, ADR, and it's all good. It's fixed.
The editor fix it, yeah.
Then she will leave. Any other things you guys want to wrap up before we go to Oron's epilogue?
Oh, real quick, so when she goes to step away and walk away, I think Darren does pull her back for a second really tight hug.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Well, it does mean we'll be ending a little bit early, but I really like the idea of an Oron epilogue in this space. So the floor is yours, Cody, what does Oron's epilogue look like?
I think his epilogue isn't an epilogue at all. It's just what he's going to be up to during this next session. The shuttle flies into the remains of a Masasi temple on Yavin, and this trip he's been speaking with Tezi about. The Force provides, and he believes he's on a path to find a great power of the Force and of the Jedi, perhaps, that will help turn the tide. And when he arrives at the temple, he has Tezi stay with the shuttle, and he goes inside into the depths of the temple, where he finds a peaceful place to meditate. And he lays out a cloth, and on the cloth is the kyber crystal Zop gave him, a kyber crystal from Terran Malicos's lightsaber, and the slobbered on bitten remains of the Sith holocron. And here he sits to bring balance to all things and restore and purify these tainted artifacts of the dark side. Of course, not Zop's kyber crystal. That one is offering the balance. It is the light he needs in this moment to center himself.
Guiding light.
It is a guiding light in the moment for him to purify Terran Malicos, his brother in essence, his lightsaber, and to bring it back to the light, as well as what might be still remaining in this holocron. There might still yet be light and knowledge and good in it. And then from which Darren can do whatever he wishes, but he wants to bring back something that doesn't have that corruption. And so he meditates down in the depths of this temple. The Force guided him to this. The experience on the ship in that last moment, overcoming the holocron, guiding Darren, it wants him to restore balance. And that is how he will do it.
So, with that, I think we end the session after the post-credit sequence thing of the Dominion Claw coming out of hyperspace and seeing Sereno, the cyberpunk planet, as I've often called it, with a fleet of star destroyers and other ships all in orbit above it. And just your little ship? Oh my. The rebel flotilla has yet to arrive. Perhaps that's part of the plan. We'll find out in our final scheduled session next week. So, at the end of each session, we ask some questions. Did you strike a blow against the Empire or its leaders?
Yes.
I think so. By discovering the Tezi plant and using it to your advantage, and also that little holocron thing. Maybe that was also a blow. So, yes, there. Did you protect the common folk from harm?
I think so. I think Tezi is the common folk here.
Yeah. I'm interested in that. Yeah. Did you learn something new about the Empire and its plans?
Sort of, I think, but I feel like we already got the yes for Tezi's droid brain. I feel like that felt like the plan.
Yeah,
here.
I think that's like one yes between the two of them.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Okay, so 2 yeses, which means you can each player refresh 1 piece of gear to its full value. I don't think anybody burned gear or used up gear.
I just made gear up, but
Well, we had Oron using Freya, so there was that, but not much else. Each player chooses a stat to heal. Doesn't have to be theirs. The Fellowship and the Empire each choose a player to level up.
Do any stats need healing?
I have one. but that's probably okay.
Yeah, what about bonds? Because does it heal bonds, or is it just like companion bonds? I mean, like does Turtle have marks on him that could be removed? No, not that I see. Okay.
Yeah, no, turtles. Yeah.
And Little Falkeen is gone.
Yeah, I should have done more damaging of stats this session. I apologize. I definitely should have. I did damage Verzi, so
You did good.
okay, cool. So what choices do you guys want to make?
It's 2 level ups.
We should definitely do a level up, and our choice should be Chevelsa. We talked about that during the last session.
Yes.
So that she can take the redeemed playbook.
I thought we already did that, or did I get that confused?
I think it was just set up. We're like, hey, that is what we'll
That's
do.
yeah, that's what we're
Okay.
going to do. As long as
We just
get,
need to
yeah.
we just need to honor that agreement.
Yes.
Okay.
Which means Rich gets to choose somebody. And it has to be one of us. Mwahaha.
Dang
And it can't be me because I'm gone. Don't give it to me.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be Oran. It's gonna be Oran.
That might work well for one of my wishes if you want to do that.
For real? That was just being a dick.
So one of my wishes, just to jump ahead, is maybe we could have a custom move from Oron, or maybe a shared move for the last session that could be used by a PC, or something like that.
Well, I was I'm into that. I was about to type Rich a secret message, and now I'll just once again I'll say it just out loud because this continues to happen. That I wanna offer something up. What I was gonna say is, Rich, can I send Freya to Zop or to everybody in the next session? Because Zop has a companion with Little Falkeen, but he doesn't have anymore, and I could, so that way, hey, I gave something to Zop, but also there's another companion there in place that should, still be there, kind of thing. I don't know. Just,
No, I like it. What do you
maybe-
think, Greg?
I'm a-okay because that totally jives with Zop's eventual reckoning with perhaps his mortality, his dead lover, and very good. I love it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna move Freya over to your sheet right now. I'll like copy and paste it over there.
Yeah, I have to delete Mercy. Sad face.
But it is sad. That is true. I agree. And then just Rich, I guess I'll leave that in your hands of whenever you think the moment is right. Or Zop can choose. Because Zop is like I said, Zop is starting to be sensitive. He just doesn't realize it. He thinks he's hearing things. Nah, man, that's the Force.
And then I think we
Sweet.
do another 2 level ups.
I guess so. Everyone gets a level up. You guys all 7th level then?
I think so.
Well, okay, so we Matron Chevelsa goes to 7 that we established ahead of time. Then did you give the level up to Oron so that he can share
Yes.
a move to
Yes.
Darren? Okay. So then that does leave, that was only 2. We get to choose one, and then you get to choose one, Rich, but you are stuck with the 3, Nanta, Darren, and Zop. So who among us gets to go to level 7?
Zop.
Our choice.
I'm choosing Zop.
Okay. Nanta or Darren, who wants to go to 7?
Do you have a preference, Kay?
I don't like making choices like this.
Do you have a plan for what you would do if you?
Yeah, if you have a plan. Otherwise, you guys could just roll dice.
I mean, I know what move I would take, but I don't want to.
Then you do it. Yep. We should level Darren then.
Yeah, and you guys were saying that through my level up, I would be able to give Darren or I would be able to share a move. What was what was the mechanics of that, so I can make sure I do it?
So there is one of the level up options is choose a player you have 3 bonds with, share a move with them.
I don't have 3 bonds with anybody. Although, no, I should have
Miraculous bond with Darren.
I just listen. Darren became more than all that. He's family. So yeah, you're right. I'm adding that. And Richard, you can't stop me.
I shan't.
So then the two of you should discuss a move. I was actually looking through like the Star Wars World Jedi. The Star Wars World playbooks have like a death move or something like that, or a drama move, and they're like, oh, as a Force ghost, you can whisper some piece of advice or something like that, and if you take it, you both get XP. And I'm like, that doesn't fit here, but yeah, pick something that to share.
If we want to do it, if we want to talk about it right now, Darren, you already have keen senses from me. What do you think? My first thought is one of these two, because it's so opposite of how Darren has been, but maybe is how he will be going forward. Camouflage or sleep. I used camouflage a lot early on, because it tied to the forest creature Jedi background elf hack that we used. That allows you.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's just camouflage allows you and allows. I guess your use of it would just be you becoming invisible and undetectable, and then it ends if you ever make an attack or decide to make yourself known.
That is interesting, because the thing that I was planning to take from the Ancient Secrets is hide in plain sight. When you will yourself to become secret while no one is currently paying attention to you, no one can see you, acknowledge you, or notice you. So long as it doesn't harm someone or draw attention, you can do anything you like and remain secret, unnoticeable, forgotten. If you do anything that gets you acknowledged by anyone else, that secret is broken and everyone can see you / react to you normally again.
Once again, the forest provides and pairs up in an interesting way that we both want to do the same thing. So yes, I think I'm sending you camouflage.
Yeah, and then I'll take a different route.
Yeah, and then you can have a different badass destiny move.
Nice. Exciting stuff. So who's taking the level up?
K is.
Oh, all right then. Do we have any other post-game stuff?
I changed my mind. I am not boosting my sense. I have just upped my blood to 3. Darren and I are murder machines.
Murder machines.
Your
Let's
blood
do it.
brothers.
Let's blood brother duel. Well, that's like a whole thing. Didn't I have a whole thing about wanting to battle? Oh no, that was with Nanta, where I want to kill people with Nanta. But I also want to kill people with Zapdos. So, we'll just bathe in the blood of Zinj together.
Okay. Well, then it is time to do the post-game wishes.
Wait, Rich, I didn't get to describe a thing in the ship, and I would like to do so.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yes, I'm sorry I didn't ask for it. Please.
That's okay. I think there is a room that is completely like mountainous stone in the interior. And inside are several just like deep-seated hot spring mimicking water pits. And there's like all this steam and kind of effervescent sort of energy bubbling about. And I think we see, Nanta, Zop, and Darren as we've got like, we are moments away. This is our last moment of reprieve, and the three of them like in this essentially Star Wars-esque hot tub together. Just relaxing their muscles before one final battle.
Oh, that's wild. I love it. Cool. So we are going to do stars and wishes, but we're going to take a brief pause before we do that. Sweet. We are back. We're going to do wishes first and then end with stars, as is our process in the fellowship game. Who would like to go first with wishes? Cody, you don't get any.
It's too late. I already wrote one in the thing. This is what happens when you make me write them down. I get to say whatever I want. And my wish is for you all to make it through. And of course, choose the light side of the force.
Delightful. Delightful. I'm not going to grant it.
I'll go next. Just to keep it in character keeper order. I already mentioned one of my wishes, which was that Auron have shared a move with someone so that we can see part of Auron in the next session, which worked out great. My other wish is someone mentioned recording Zinj and our confrontation with Zinj. Yeah. I want that to be broadcast to the entire galaxy.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Love it. Cool. Thanks, Steven. Well, you suggested an order to this instead of popcorn. So if we're doing that, then I guess it's Darren's. It is Kay's turn. Please, Kay, do you have any wishes?
Yeah. I don't know how likely this is, but my wish is to have we are killing Zinj. But this was mentioned how both Zop and Darren both have 3 blood, and I would love some kind of epic dual attack kind of something or other that just allows us both to like simultaneously KO Zinj. Just be like the faces of the murder and death of Zinj is Zop and Darren von Vorlock. Yeah. And then my other wish is that Oron and Versi and Matos get to be a happy family forever.
My wish too.
I guess that means I'm next. My wish, and I had a good one, and now it's gone because the thought of Oron, happy family. Oh, I would love to start the next session, in the effort to cut to the chase there, a bit montagey, a bit, we need to get Chevalsa in with us. We need to, there's some stuff. So I'm just putting out the wish there that, it would be fun to sort of elide the first like half of Return of the Jedi and just get to the part where the shield thing explodes, and then we do the thing. So maybe somewhere right before that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that though. And I want to see Nanta kill Zinj, honestly.
Oh, that actually is really good too.
I think the Ewoks overall have
He is the hero.
suffered more under the Empire.
We can all kill Sharon.
We can all kill Sharon.
3-way kill, Rich.
If you can share moves.
Or perhaps if the light side is to be had, you capture him and turn him over to the New Republic or whatever. Whatever.
Looks at this collective 3 level of blood.
I'm also very curious. I get 3 wishes. No. I'm also very curious how I want to see the temptation for Chevalsa. I want to see the moment of truth where she could take over and doesn't. Maybe. I don't know.
It does.
Tyler, if you're watching.
Or maybe she does something with Darren and they both rebuild what was lost of their people. Who knows?
Yeah. Now I get to go first with stars. So many stars. The whole scene, finally, the holocron's destroyed.
It's not.
Darren's back. Oron got to save Darren, destroy the weird shadow, and nothing bad is ever going to happen ever again. That was just a great start to the session. Nanta, Steven, I love the Nanta and Zop scene in the forest. That was a great touch. To have that spot and to have Nanta sort of like returning to his home in a weird way. Yeah, that was very cool. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you, Greg.
Is that me? Oh god, that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, stars Rich. Oh my god. When the Matos holocron Sith is like, and I love you too, Darren. Like, and I'm doing this for us. That was so good. Like, what a 1, 2, 3 emotional punch in an already like a very fun, emotionally charged scene. Yeah, that might be my favorite, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, one of my favorite moments of the whole season arc of a game. That was really great. I also, I will say this, I've said this before, I will say this again. Your evil villainous female voices and things that you do are just so absolutely top tier. This Zygarian doctor, she was just like such a keynote rich character. And I was like, oh yes, I love it when those appear on screen. Cody, thank you for telling this story with me. It has been such a pleasure playing with you, and just the sort of storyline that we kind of told of like foiling and also just like a teacher mentor kind of vibes with Darren and Oron were phenomenal. And that sort of bleed blend there was just a delightful thing to do. And him giving the necklace and just the back and forth and like, delightful. Thank you for that capstone. I love Zop, Greg. I think the kitty paw comment is so perfect. I'm just excited by the idea of Zop Books with a kitty paw. It pleases me greatly. I can't wait for his next iteration in whatever game he goes to next to see changes in all these different ways. And then Nanta, Nanta's just such a wholesome little, Nanta is such a hero. Like he is so perfect for the hero destiny. It's so great. And he's like, no, we're not sacrificing Tezzy. We're not harming Tezzy. Like we will save Tezzy too. Yeah, he is. He's the heart in a lot of ways, as we've talked about. Yeah. And that was just delightful. Thank you for that. Also, Bruck's licking himself. Good job, Brooks.
It's his whole cameo. This session is he just.
I thought we lost the conscious, not the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't
Yeah,
Darren
sense.
you're the conscious, and because Darren's the soul, he's the twisted soul that could go either way.
Zop's the arm.
That's the arm, the kitty paw
Zop is
arm.
the hot flesh metal arm thing that we ambulate.
What? Okay, great.
That makes sense.
Awesome. Steve, before we go too far down this rabbit hole of weirdness, Steven.
It's all buttoned up, Rich. It's all normal. Everything we're saying
is it
normal.
all the things? Just wait, did Steven do stars? I'm sorry, I'm lost now. You guys blew my mind.
No.
Okay.
So I wanted to point out a couple of things. Number one, Starter Rich, during the wish sessions, we all wanted to kill Zinj. Kudos on making an excellent villain, right? We all hate that guy. Another thing is like, so whenever we started talking about like Zop and the changes that he underwent over the past couple of sessions, I started looking for images, and I'm like, where can I find a cyborg Rhodian? And now I'm like, oh, with a cybernetic cat arm and all that. I'm like, man, that, why doesn't that exist? That sounds awesome. No, I can't find it. Okay. So anyway, it was exciting enough. I wanted to go looking for it. I really liked Zop's addition of the pond and the swamp in the area, because of course cats, would be interested in, fishing. Yeah. And I wasn't sure exactly what would end up happening with Tezzy and all that kind of stuff. And Cody, you stepping in and saying, okay, this is the plan. I'm going to go off. I'm going to go do the thing with Tezzy. And I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense. That is fantastic. And the whole scene between Darren and Oron, star to K for giving the holocron to Oron, and then, gifting it and saying, I will destroy it for you as a gift. And then kudos to Rich again for, oh no, that's not going to happen. Now it's going to have its own thoughts about this, and you're going to have to fight it. That was amazing. What else do I have? I try to write them down so I don't forget them. Oh, and again, a star for, the discussion with Versi about the two of them, about Oron and her settling down. That gives us a glimpse of a peaceful future and maybe what we're fighting for, and that really helps quite a bit. During that whole scene with the Sith holocron, one of the things that popped in my mind was, is this sort of like the images that we're seeing? Is it sort of like the dark tree on Dagobah, or the mirror thing in the sequels? Is this sort of like a Sith Vergence? And I'm like, maybe I'm slow, but I just picked up on that. So that's very good.
Cool. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much. Cody, any last stars? You kind of snuck in and forced your will into wishes, so I might as well give you some stars.
Yeah, all of them have already been covered. I think Kay, the scene at the beginning, awesome, it's so great. Destroying the holocron, beautiful stuff. And right back at you. Thank you for having that scene with me in the story, because every step of the way I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And then in the moment, it was perfect. In the moment, it was like, yes, this is the way I'm gonna approach it. You know, real life Cody was like, man, Darren really thinks he deserves a lot of attention in these people's like love life and stuff. And then it's like, yeah, he's a kid who's around these people. Of course, he's like, why don't you tell me these things? And then in the moment, it was like, yeah, of course. And of course, Darren's gonna say sorry in the perfect way for Darren to say it. And that will make Oron open up in a way. So, I mean, just a huge star for really knowing what Darren was and that arc, because it made it so much easier for me to play Oron in that way. A big star to Nanta for caring so much about Tezzy. I think that shows that's Tezzy was the first character that you brought over to our side that you're like, I need to make another companion. That's what this game's about. We need to add to the fellowship. And caring about it at the end there, Rich bringing Tezzy in as this kind of, Imperial sleeper agent. It was great. And caring about what happens with her, I think was really, really good and really key to who Nanta is as a character. Yeah, like I said, everything else you guys have already touched on. I think I just also want to give a big start to just the communal game we have here, because so many things that I wanted to do in the game, or I thought I was going to do, everyone else was about to do the same thing and offered something that was like, okay, I was like going to send Rich on our first break. I was going to send this long message of like, okay, Oron's going to go away and then come out with gifts for everybody and then disappear through the portal. And then the next thing was like, no, we actually need somebody to get out of here. And it's like, cool, because it's perfect, right? If you were writing this book, you might have that moment where the characters, you might have the Lothlorien moment, but in playing it, it's like, no, things aren't going to happen the way you want them to happen perfectly. It's going to come out naturally. And every single thing I wanted to do, somebody else in our group wanted to do a similar thing, or wanted somebody to do it. And so it just, I don't know, it's like some sort of weird group star of playing together long enough that we all are wanting the same things in our game. And it made it so fun to then do the things like everybody, for me at least, everything I wanted to do was reflect. I wasn't like surprising anybody or pulling the rug out on anyone. You were all like, and what's this? Another stone on the path for the thing you want to do? And you just led me right to where I wanted to go. So just a huge star to everybody for that. It was incredible.
That is awesome. What a great one to end on. It's been a joy to play with all of you.
Real quick.
Oh, yes.
I realized I had something and I was like, yeah, and I'll do this in the last session. And I was like, wait, no, we want to have Cody. So just a peek behind the curtain of ideas, because I think you would enjoy this. If Darren went to the dark side, which was, light or dark or in between or whatever, I fully intentionally planned to have him kidnap the baby Matos, and that is how Matos would have been like, and it's like a whole self-fulfilling prophecy because it's the Matos holocron that dark-sided Darren, and then Darren
oh man,
so that he could raise him as his dark Padawan to like. So I want you to know that was cooking behind the scenes if things had turned out differently.
I'm so glad we saved you. So glad Darren saved himself.
Yeah, but also, I said this last time. I don't know if you saw it, Cody. It was at the end. It was after you had left. This game was great. Y'all are great. This group is fucking amazing. I would play any RPG with all of you. Like, this is such a banner group. So you take that.
Thank you, Kay. And thanks, Cody, for bringing us a Jedi that I liked. And it's great that you were flawed and still. You had that Obi-Wan energy, like the best kind of Obi-Wan energy. So it was really, really cool to see how consistent Oron was, and also that he wasn't this like pristine white version of the Jedi, that he had connections, right? That he broke with the Order. It was neat to see someone who was heroic and flawed. It's one of my favorite parts of Star Wars Rebels, is seeing oh, this guy's legitimately a Jedi, but he also kind of has a girlfriend. And so it was good stuff. It was really good. I'm glad that we were able to have some moments between Oron and Versi. It's weird. We've played for 11 sessions, and I always feel like there's so many like, oh, I wish I'd had more of this and more of this and more of this and more of this.
Listen, season 2, Rich, season 2.
But thank you all so much for playing. This has been delightful. We have one scheduled session left, and we bring things to a close with epilogues all around. And
Rich, one more quick star.
yes.
For star for Verzi being like, am I fired?
I thought that was good. It just seemed like hey, I think I'm fired. Oh, been let go. All right, awesome. Thank you all so much. With that, we'll bring the recording to an end, or I'll never stop. See you guys.